Kings and queens, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. The devs have posted the developer update, and there is a lot of cool and interesting things in this one that you guys are definitely going to want to stay tuned for. So this PTB is right around the corner, and let's take a look at all of the things that are going to be included in this. All right, so here we go. We have the developer update for March of 2024. The long-awaited Twins rework are here. We kind of have an overview. The Twins are going to be changed to Blight, Haddonfield, Ultimate Weapon, Adrenaline, D-Strike, and some new features. So let's go ahead and take a look at everything. First of all, the Twins, the long-awaited Twins rework. Let's see what they're going to do and if this is going to be a good change. They said they reduced the time it takes to switch back to Charlotte to 1.5. This is a healthy and good change. Reduce the time it takes to unbind Victor to 0.75. This was 1 second. Another good and healthy change. Reduce the time it takes to charge to pounce to 0.85. So these are all good. These are all buffs pretty much. So those are all really good changes. Added the ability to recall Victor at any point in time while he is unbound. Okay, so that's pretty good. And added the ability to change between Victor and Charlotte near a hooked survivor. Okay, that one's going to be interesting. I can definitely see people just playing Charlotte or Victor right next to the hook. They said, please note that the timer still will go up for the anti-face camp if you're too close. So I can see it going both ways. I can definitely see people still hanging out and then just teleporting right back. For example, if you put someone close to the basement and you're standing like outside of the basement, I think normally with Charlotte, you wouldn't be able to be that close, like directly in front of the door. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't played Twins in a bit, but I can definitely see people just teleporting right back or staying right around that area and getting some free hits. Nonetheless, all of these are healthy and good changes. I think they're all going to improve Twins and make them a lot more appealing to people. So far, so good. Be warned, anti-face camp meter. So let's take a look at what we have. Oh, this is how quickly. I like this. They actually show some gameplay. This is how quickly you'll be able to switch between the two of them. That's almost instant. That's really nice. Okay, let's see some new changes that they have as well. They said they updated 7 add-ons. That's good. Some of the add-ons were terrible. The Victor's Pounce no longer latches onto healthy survivors. Okay, so that's a big one. Victor Pounce no longer latches onto healthy survivors. So basically, they're making it so that you really have to use Charlotte here, because if you're not injuring people, then Victor pretty much won't be able to do anything. So that's an interesting one. Victor can no longer be kicked after successful pounces, which do not latch onto a survivor. Okay, so he can be kicked after a successful pounce, which does not latch onto a successful survivor. So wait, I gotta keep reading, I suppose. Victor's pounce now latches onto survivors when they are put into the dying state. Other survivors can crush Victor during this to help the dying survivor. Victor will automatically return to Charlotte after 20 seconds. Okay, let me digest all of that for a second. So Victor can no longer be kicked after successful pounces. So if you jump onto somebody and they are already injured and you are now latched onto them while they're into the dying state, then that's a successful pounce, right? So, but then they're saying which do not latch onto a survivor. So can you successfully pounce with Victor and not put someone into the dying state? What effect does that have now? I'm assuming because it says Victor can no longer latch onto healthy survivors. Oh, okay. So maybe he just like injures them, I suppose. And then he like dies? I don't know. Or maybe he just latches onto them. But yeah, it says no longer latches onto a healthy survivor. So I guess maybe I'm reading this wrong or I'm just a bit confused. But right here it says he cannot latch onto a healthy survivor, but he can no longer be kicked after a successful pounce, which does not latch onto a survivor. So a successful pounce can latch onto a survivor, I guess if they're downed, but if they're downed, you can still crush him, but they're saying he can no longer be kicked. So I guess it's immediately? I don't know. I'm going to have to wait and see exactly what it entails. Maybe I'm just confusing myself here, and someone in the comments can explain to me. It said Victor will automatically return to Charlotte after 20 seconds. That's good to know. While Victor is attached to a survivor or holding a survivor in a locker, Charlotte gains a 10% haste effect. This effect will be lost prematurely if Charlotte hits a survivor. Okay, so kind of like the Skull Merchant effect there, where you get the extra speed boost. And survivors near Victor, while he is latched onto another survivor, are no longer revealed by Killer Instinct. Okay, so I wonder if Victor is just standing by himself then. Is Killer Instinct still something that happens? They said that previously the twins' power heavily encouraged slugging, since Victor could chain together pounces on multiple injured survivors, but now pounces a single healthy one. Further, oh, okay, that makes more sense. So you only can pounce one person at a time, I guess. And then like it just automatically goes back, I suppose. So you don't latch onto them. I guess you just injure them and then that's it, right? Like you injure them and then Victor like dies or he's immediately kicked or whatever the case might be, just returns to Charlotte. At least that's what I'm getting at. That makes more sense now. They said survivors could often save each other before Charlotte could make it to them. We have flipped this around. Victor will now be much more effective at injuring multiple survivors instead assist Charlotte. I got you. Who now moves faster. So yeah, so Charlotte's gonna be like the main person here, and then Victor's just gonna do like all the small pieces. Before, Victor really was the main character. That makes a lot more sense. Oh, here we go. So this is the latching animation when you grab somebody and then like you down them. That's kind of satisfying though, I'm not gonna lie. It says the visual terror radius accessibility setting will now include Victor's grunts, and Victor will glow red whenever he is vulnerable. Good. That's a good one. There's so many times where I see survivors just running away from Victor. I'm like, no, kick him, please. So this works out. Okay, overall, before we head on to the blight changes, I think these are interesting changes. I'm not really too sure what to make of them or how to feel about them. If they are just looking for anti-slugging, we'll have to see how this actually works and how it plays out. And this P2P should be right around the corner, probably on Tuesday. So we'll wait until then, and then I can give you a good opinion on everything. And I also need to talk to Lynxie to hear how she feels. The blight. It says improve collision detection to reduce cases where the blight slides off of objects. Beautiful change, just like the Hillbilly. Absolutely love it. Haddonfield. Updated map layout and reduced overall size. Reduced the length of hedges and fences. Thank God. Adjusted various houses to reduce the strength of strong loops. Beautiful. And reduce the number of houses on the map. Very good changes to Haddonfield. I've seen a lot of comments and a lot of people on Twitter basically like countering the swamp argument. In our previous video, we basically said, wow, it's crazy that Haddonfield got a rework again before swamp. And they more so talked about the balancing of Haddonfield. And 100%, I do need to make a correction. Haddonfield was 100% not balanced. So I can understand why they decided to make that decision, because when you take a look at Swamp, relatively games can go either way, at least for me. Maybe sometimes more in the killer favor. Haddonfield, it's oftentimes in the survivor's favor. And with the low mobility killers, it was just a pain in the ass. So I get it. I 100% get it. But then again, the same thing on Haddonfield. You have these giant dead zones that do absolutely nothing. And I feel like they did that for the aesthetic of Haddonfield itself. But now they're like, okay, we need to condense this and make it into a Dead by Daylight map. The one thing I don't like about when they make these maps smaller, and this is a personal thing, is that they all literally become a rectangle or a square. Like they're very boring sometimes, and that's just me really nitpicking. But I just don't like the rectangles and the squares personally. That's just me though. That's just me. Okay, let's continue on. We have some images of Haddonfield, so we can see there's a door here. This used to be a double vault, so this used to be a vault, so you be able to vault and vault and vault and vault. Normally it's a drop after the vault as well, and you just run back through. So that's good. They said add pallets and lockers along the edge of the map. Good. Updated street tiles to feature more pallet loops. Beautiful. And adjusted pallet loops in park tiles. Nice. And we can take a look at Haddonfield right here. So it seems that there's a loop right here. You can run around. You could probably run around these cars, go back over here, maybe just some more pallets, but not too bad. All right, here's some juicy stuff. We have D-Strike with a minor update. Increase the stun duration to 5 seconds. That is fine. I'm happy with that. 3 seconds really was nothing. So good change. And added a new stabbing animation when decisive strike is used successfully. Beautiful. These are the small quality of life changes that I've been talking about in a lot of my videos that the devs need to do. These little changes will go such a long way. And this is a good start to it. There's so much other things that they can do though. Like I've been saying, if every patch they put out some quality of life updates, even 1 or 2 minor ones, it will go such a long way in due time. And this is a good one. I like this one. New animations. If we can get those shadows to be reworked, that'll be fantastic. And if we could see all killer Moris in third person, that'll be fantastic. These small little things will go such a long way. Like even the UI would, or not the UI, the animation would spare it loading in and you just see her ass. I get it. People like her ass, but still, it's a bug in the game. These tiny little bugs, if they fixed all of them, they made things feel a little bit more smooth, they're going to get a lot of love from the DBD community. Next on the list, here's one that people have been fearing, Adrenaline. Here is the Adrenaline changes. Adrenaline no longer activates if you are hooked when the gates are powered. Okay, that's a fair change. I can respect it. Reduce the speed boost duration to 3 seconds. This used to be 5. Again, respectable. 5 seconds was absolutely nutty. It was like a background player almost. And Adrenaline no longer causes you to wake up when facing the nightmare. Fair, Freddy's ass. So this works. That's it. Wow. Adrenaline still top dog. I really like Adrenaline. This is still good. I like this change. Healthy change. Healthy change. Ultimate Weapon got some changes as well. It is now going to reveal the aura instead of causing him to scream. That is nice. Reduce the activation time to 15 seconds instead of 30. Sure enough. And increase the cooldown to 80, 70, 60, and this was 40, 35, 30. So some balancing essentially. They made some areas stronger and they made the cooldown longer. Fair enough. Emblems. They removed the ability to lose a pip. Wow. I did not expect that change. Okay. So it says, with emblems are being used solely for monthly rewards these days, it's felt necessarily not to punish to lose a pip in a rough match. This quality of life will make emblem system less stressful. This also applies to modifiers. Beautiful. Good, good, good. I think this is going to be a healthy change because there's so much people that still argue that emblems mean something and getting into iridescent affects your matchmaking and things like that. And it obviously is confusing. It's not the fault of the players to think, oh, like I'm an Eerie, so obviously I'm going to get other people in Eerie and we're all going to be Eerie together. And then you see somebody and they're like bronze or ash, I should say. And you're like, what the hell? Like matchmaking's not working. That happens so much. And I think they removed the ability to see everybody's like ranks. But a change like this will firmly draw that line that, listen, this is only to track your playtime and how much you play, not necessarily if you're good or bad. That's literally what the emblems were. And MMR is going to be the way that we're going to track how you're doing in your game. So good change. And it's about time that they did something like this. I'm happy. They're definitely taking their stance between competitive and casual. And I get it. And I'm happy that they're making these changes. Next on the list, we have a major update to the store. Okay. Oh my God. Look at that. I didn't even read. Oh my God. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Round of applause. I mean, I've been saying for such a long time that the store needs to be reworked and just needs to be so much more accessible. It is all over the place. Oh, this is beautiful. This is exactly what they needed. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I play a lot of Apex, as you know, and they keep updating their UI. They keep updating their store. And I know Dead by Daylight takes tons of inspiration from Apex. Because they literally told me that when I visited Behavior. This is great. This is nice. I love it. This is so good. So now, boom, you head onto the featured page. You can see everything you want. You can go to the special page, see what you want. Collections, beautiful. Everything's in order. You get your bundles, you get your killers, you get your survivors. Fantastic. It's just not all clumped in. It would be really nice, I'm just saying, if there was one more tab that showed you the Dead by Daylight store that actually, like, you can buy things in real life. There's so much things on their store. There's so much things in their shop that people don't know about, including myself. I'm a Fog Whisperer and I don't know some of the things that are in the shop. So, like when they had their Iron Maiden shirts, I barely knew they were there and they were then sold out. They have Trapper masks. They have Huntress stuff. Like there's so much things in that shop that people just don't know about. And I feel that if there was just a tab or a little plug to it, so much more people would love to get their hands on things. And it's also more money for them. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's nice. Featured. You show your new characters. You show your new bundles. You show whatever's new. That's beautiful. That looks so much more organized. That looks so well put together. Yo, shout out to the UI team because this is amazing work. I love it. I love it. Let me actually read. Added specials, added collections, added bundles. Killer Mori animations will now be viewed in the store. Let's go. And added a weekly gift that can be claimed for free. Ooh, adding gifts. So this is actually good because if they're adding gifts, it probably means at some point you'll be able to gift a certain amount of things to friends. Having that gifting options, that'll be really good, because if there's a gifting option, chef's kiss. I'm waiting. Okay. Finally, we have the archives. New tomes and their respective rifts will now open at the same time as the update. Good. New rift bundle option, which grants the premium rift reward and 20 tier head start, is at a discounted price. Very nice. They said rifts have historically opened the day after the mid-chapter updates, but no more. You can now get cracking on those challenges right away. I never knew why they separated the two. I always thought it was so people won't get overwhelmed and like play the new character, then also see the rift, or stats might get skewed, or whatever the case might be. I guess they decided not to care about it anymore. They said until next time, the Dead by Daylight team. Well, they didn't give us a date for the PTP unless I missed it, so I'm going to assume that it is Tuesday, because normally they give us this information when the PTP is right around the corner. But there you go. That's actually a lot of good changes. This is a W update from behavior. I'm interested to see the the twins changes, and everything else seems pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I really like all of the other changes. Twins are gonna be a little bit iffy. We have to play them and see exactly how they feel. But that pretty much is going to wrap it up for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below and subscribe for some more awesome Dead by Daylight content. As always, I'm the King. We'll see you over on twitch.tv/theking as well. Tomorrow we'll be giving away some of those DLC codes as I promised. And as always, I'm the King. I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fog.